So if you're a fiddle player, or if you're a guitar or mandolin player that's trying out fiddle, you may have listened to this song in awe, as all musicians do, and been fascinated with the song, but thought it was just kind of more for guitar players to study. That is not the case. There is excellent fiddling both on this original Manzanita album and then the one that was cut later on his Unit of Measure album. In this video, I just want to show you how to play that iconic A section. The B section has a lot more fluidity to it, and you can kind of just improvise over the chord progression. So I just wanted to show you that you can learn Manzanita and make it sound really cool on the fiddle. And as you listen to the track, you have some amazing fiddlers on there, and on both versions that really make it shine. So it's not just for guitar players, it's for fiddle players too. So I'm going to play through it slowly first, and then I'll break it down into pieces. So that's the whole A section, and it just gets played 2 times through. And I'm going to break it down some more. So the first part just goes like that. So again. And you could go to that open A instead of the 4th finger if you wanted to. Either way that suits you best. Sometimes I choose that 4th finger over the open A because it gets a little bit more of a mellow and richer tone. The A string by itself, just played open, cuts more. So it kind of depends on what you're going for. A nice open sharp sound, or something a little bit more mellow. So for this song, since it's more jazz oriented, I'm looking for sort of tones that are on the mellow side, at least for the A section. Before it jumps into more of a bluegrass feel for the B section. So I might choose the 4th finger for this. But that's your first phrase. And then we go. So. And then we go back to the first phrase again. It's exactly the same. So again. And then we go. So. And then we're kind of into the second half of the A section now, and this is one of my favorite phrases. It goes. So we're going to kind of walk up chromatically. So. And then we have a normal whole step here, and then a half step. And then we slide into a half step above that, so, which is our E note. So. And then for this next part, really sink into this slide and milk the tone out of it. You can really get a lot of attitude if you really punch this slide. So all that is we're starting back at that flat 4, the E flat, sliding up into the E and back down. So, and we come out of it. You could change bow directions if you wanted to hop from that 4th finger to the 2nd finger, or just go ahead and jump right into the 2nd finger all on the same bow. Either of them is acceptable. If it helps you to sort of break out of the slide and separate it in your mind, to go ahead and change bows, go ahead and do that. Again, it's what suits you best, because the way it hits the ear is roughly the same for this part. So like that. So and then we go. So and then we go back to this the phrase with all the half steps. So again. And then that slide again, so that flat to standard 4 and back to flat. And it jumps down to that second, third, and open. And then our last phrase goes. So this is the part that it feels too long. You're expecting it to cut short, like the ends of the phrases earlier in the A section. So you're wanting to do the same thing, but it's longer. So you have to keep out that voice in your head that tells you to do the wrong thing, even though you know the pattern. I'm about to show you the pattern. Memorize it, keep it in your head. You will, in the moment, be tempted to change it because you think it's not going to work out with the timing. But as long as you're playing with a rhythm player that also knows the song and the timing, which is not always the case, but if you're playing with somebody that's familiar with it too, it is going to work itself out. So like that, and then so not really all that complicated. It's just that it sounds different than we're expecting as far as where the phrase cuts off. So I'm going to play through it again, and this time I'm going to make it sort of a close-up of my hand that comes from higher up to make your job easier. If it helps you to remember that pattern, we're kind of moving up in sets of 3. So we go, that's one set, and then we go up, and our next note is a whole step higher, like that. And then we start the next one on our F note, and then we continue down from there. So it's kind of 3 sets of 3 with a trail off at the end. So. So I hope that helps you break down this awesome melody of Manzanita. This is one of the first songs that I listened to from Tony Rice, or the Tony Rice unit, when I was a kid. My brother got his first iPod, and the first 2 songs he downloaded were Manzanita and Shenandoah by Tony Rice. And it revolutionized our musical careers just to listen to them. I thought this would be cool to teach as a fiddler because I want to instill in my students the message that if you truly want to be a versatile and creative artist, you need to be listening to all sorts of different genres, of course, and you also need to be paying attention to what other instrumentalists are doing. So not just other fiddle players. It's a broad category, and it covers a broad range of different ways of thinking within fiddling and the way fiddlers think. But there's a lot outside of that just because other instruments have their own things that they have to work around. They have their own advantages, they have their own disadvantages, they have their own training backgrounds, and so they can bring this really fresh perspective to the table. So after you learn your classic fiddle tunes and after you get your good solid technique, go listen to a saxophone player, listen to piano, listen to electric guitar, listen to acoustic guitar, as we're doing today, and listen to mandolin. All of it, the world is your oyster once you have your technique down, and know how to play your violin. The next thing that you get to do is explore all different kinds of music and all different types of instruments, and glean what you can from each of them, and incorporate it into your own eclectic sound on the violin. Plus, if you get in a bluegrass jam session and you know how to play this song and you understand how to get that phrasing right at the end of the A section, you're going to be really popular. So, enjoy.